All right, all
Y'all,
right,
what do
all
you
right.
all got? What do you all
All
got?
right, so
MJ.
maybe this is because I found myself reading a few like comic books this week, and I think it's not even close anymore. And the numbers have proved it. Manga is so much better than comics; it's not even close. This is something that I've felt for a
Facts.
long time, and
Facts.
I've seen. So obviously,
Okay.
there are plenty of comic channels on YouTube, and y'all need to have an honest conversation with yourself. Why do y'all keep reading when they're just gonna reboot everything anyway?
Facts. Come up with some new shit.
So we do this. We do this every time. Okay, whether DC Resurgence or Marvel, whatever heroes that they did,
Yes.
they just do a thing. You can say whatever you want about One Piece. The craziest part is about One Piece, it's gonna end when most characters die in One Piece or a man was passed. It should be passed. The fact that y'all keep
Where
throwing
is
out
King Lion at right
Batman,
now?
but guess what? Jim Gordon's Batman now, or Damian Wayne is Batman now,
Yes.
or whatever. I'm
Or
like,
one of the
y'all need
Robins
to
is
have a
playing
serious
Batman now.
conversation, even to
Yes.
the point that you guys are distorting. Remember, last year, Superman came out, something happened, and he was gay, and people lost their mind about that. People legitimately lost their minds about that. Now, there's no problem with Superman being gay, right? The problem is you're taking Clark Kent, a character that has been established since what, the 40s, the 1940s, and you're changing him because either you're trying to fit a narrative or trying to match the culture, or you're doing it to sell comic books. And I'm sitting there like, y'all just need to, at some point, if y'all just pass the mantle to, I don't know, his kid and just let the story keep going on from there. I'm not saying,
No, they're too scared to like create new
But you know
characters
yeah,
and
what?
like
I'm not
make them
saying,
the main
look,
focus.
and when they do create new characters, they overuse them. The Batman Who Laughs last year, they put him everywhere, which was basically a Batman who basically the Joker. Bruce Wayne was the Joker. And they used him
Nah, I feel
everywhere.
that though. I'm just tired of the same reboot, same characters, same story over and over. Like
Like
I feel that.
heroes, Wolverine died. You knew he was coming back.
I
Like you knew he
think
was gonna come back.
Like these shows really playing Dragon Ball Z. You know, you
I
could
think my
die,
only
come back, die, come back,
I
go to
think
a different dimension, come back. Oh my
I think
god.
the problem with the comics is that there's not a single, at least for my thing. I like reading stories that have like a single continuity.
Mm.
To me, like I can't imagine seeing like 15 versions of like One Piece or Naruto or Dragon Ball. Like that would just be strange. Like if I went to this story and then the characters are just different, all you could argue different people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that big on comics, but there's some of the ones I've tapped into. Like I love one of my favorite comics is also Superman. The story about Superman having a sickness and he's trying
Yes,
to.
Mhm.
that's a
It was a
very good
beautiful
run of
ending, but
Superman.
it doesn't have anything to do with like this 50 other Superman stories. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I don't know. I can't really get behind it.
And
No,
we'll say
I
this:
agree.
the fact that when you go to different comic book characters and you say, like for Superman, go watch All Star Superman, or with Green Lantern, go watch Jeff Johns' run of Green Lantern. Like you run to these different segments instead of not giving me a full. Like if I want to read about the Fantastic Four, where do I start? You ask three different people; they could tell you three
Three
different
different
times to
comic
read,
books. Yeah,
and you're
facts.
like, all right, bro, that doesn't make any sense to me if I'm trying to get into comics for real. If I want to watch
Yeah, I
One
feel
Piece,
that.
you straight
Yeah, I
up,
feel
all of
that.
y'all gonna be like, go start with uh chapter one and read. And I'm like, I would love that. And the numbers have shown it. Comics are going down. And like if y'all ever really do look at the numbers, and I hope we turn this into an actual
Yeah,
episode topic one day. The numbers for comic books have been going steadily down. And even something like even casual like
manga's
Demon Slayer.
going up. Manga's
Manga
going up.
Demon
Manga's going up.
Slayer was killing it. And I
Yeah,
know enough
because the
people to say that.
West,
You know what's so
the
crazy?
West, man, we turned it up.
JJK came out in the late 2010s. It already has almost 100 million manga sales. That's actually like the Demon Slayer already has more manga sales than Bleach, and it just came out. That's actually like crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and
Demon
anime
Slayer
is
at one point
doing
Like,
had
But
the
you know,
number
but you
like,
one
know,
movie on the
but
planet.
but you know
it
what's
used to take years for mangas to get to 100 million sales. But My Hero and JJK, Demon Slayer are either close to 100 million or they have over 100 million. That's actually
but
insane.
but Ty, you got to think in this day and age, like one thing that's different between like I would say like manga and comic books is manga have anime. So, for example, when you get interested into an anime from you watch it, you usually like us. What will we usually do if we see an anime before we see the manga? We probably read it right after
Yeah.
Mhm.
because we into it, bro. I brought it up on the last show. That viral video of Nanamin and Yuji beating the dog water out of Mahito went viral all over the internet. It made everybody wonder what is JJK. How many manga sales came from just that internet video going viral, bro?
Or
you know what I'm saying? Like
how many more are gonna get from
comic
issue
books
one of
can't.
Nanami?
Comic books don't have that leverage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
they only
because
have
like
they only have.
a lot of
Okay.
comic books, what they can't really create a long running series. Like when they do, they don't even like have it where it's like its own thing, right? Obviously, for Cartoon Network, a side product is like Young Justice, right, or
yeah.
Teen Titans,
Which I
right?
really
Or back in the
enjoyed, by the
day,
way.
there was like Batman animated, Superman animated, but
Justice
like
League Unlimited.
Justice League Unlimited. But
Underrated, by the way. Underrated.
all these stories are trying to like bring in some type of material for comic books, but they don't have a straight storyline. Whereas anime is just okay. Here's my manga story. Let me just adapt it. It's so much more confusing to deal with comic books. Like, what do we adapt? How do we do it? How do we kind of make this make sense in this short amount of time? Because there's no way we can adapt the entire collection of the story because it's not going to get a whole anime. Like, yeah, comic book is kind of all over the place.
And the crazy part
MCU is doing the best, obviously.
And
Yeah,
the
but
crazy
see,
part
they
is
lucky
you
they
don't
got
wanna-
shows though, because they got shows and like they have Disney Plus. You can actually have
like
like
that.
standalone series. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
like
at
this.
least
I
you
like
can do
this
that.
comment right here. Comics have lost the ability to be fresh. They have become like isekais, which really isekais are that way. Some golden eggs are in there, but a lot falling flat. And the
Facts.
crazy part is, you want to invest
Like
all this
Emerald's
time,
Shadow.
and then what? A year from now, they just reboot everything. So you're like, I bought all these comics, I invested in these characters, and all of a sudden, what do you mean you're rebooting it? So what was the point of me doing all this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's
Nah,
my
facts.
point. They just like the reason why I think DC Studios will never be able to catch up with Marvel Studios. Well, one, because they're backed by Disney, but two, bro, all they do, DC, is reboot the same movie over and over and over again. How many iterations of Superman do we need, you guys?
How many
How many
iterations of Batman?
iterations of Batman have we had? How many iterations of the Green Lantern are we going to get before he becomes an actual character? How many Wonder Womans are we going to get? It's like we recycling the same.
Yeah, and they're
stories.
rebooting the DCEU all over again. So it's like
Yeah,
they
'cause they
could
Y'all
fired
can't even
Henry
give us like a
Cavill.
Teen Titans. Expand on other stories. There's no Teen Titans. There's no like. It's ridiculous.
Give me like y'all did Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't give me like y'all can't give me like something with the Green Lantern Corps just out in space doing something. Give me something like that. Like, I'm asking for all these different things that you have. You just don't do it. And how are we supposed to connect to whatever DC?
Thank you,
is
Majestic.
and
Bring back Static Shock.
Yeah,
Oh,
Static Shock was.
that's why I
They
say
got to
it's
bring back a
fire.
lot of stuff. To be
They gotta
honest,
bring back hella stuff. That's why I say you gotta stick to like if you really gotta go like comic books. I say read comic books that aren't just like iterations of one story. Like go read Invincible.
Oh, I'm about to
Go
say,
read The Last
Invincible.
Ronin. Go read Watchmen. You know what I'm saying? Go watch stuff that just have a flat out story where you could just go and enjoy it. There's not a whole bunch of go read Berserk, even though that's obviously not a comic book. But you know what I'm saying? Read stuff like that where you can get it one big comic book and you could just go through it like that.
Have you read Invincible, J. Rob? Because season
I'm
2,
reading it now.
Lonnie season 2 is fire. Season 2
That
on Amazon is fire.
That episode had me shook, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
shout out to
God.
hey, no spoilers.
Shout out to
I
shout out
gotta
to
walk in. I'm
shout out
waiting
to Gen V. The Gen V finale was fire too. If y'all
Oh
not
yeah, I
watching
gotta
Gen
catch
V,
up on